Good morning, everyone. This is Sinette Naturangela. Welcome to the City of Healing, where the city resides within. Wanted to come forth this early Wednesday morning. I was born on a Wednesday. Just to do a brief share. I know there's a lot going on in the news. I don't really look at the news, but you can't really escape the very prominent news of what's going on basically with this virus situation. You hear about it at work, your kids are talking about it, and it's quite interesting. One of my children, not really talking about it, my son, I asked him what did he think about the coronavirus, and he said, oh, it's fake. He said we created it, and we're just talking about it and just spreading it even more. And I was like, wow. He said basically it's created to purge the overpopulated. I was like, wow. And I asked him, I said, did you hear that somewhere? He said, in part, but some of it I just feel like it's the truth. I was like, okay. So sometimes I listen to my kids. They have some very good points sometimes, something to meditate on and think about. But anyway, I wanted to just do a brief share. I know about 3 months ago, on 2 or 3 months ago, December the 30th, a little bit before New Year's, I shared a video because I had a flare-up of my so-called asthma. And it wasn't really asthma, it wasn't bronchitis. I don't know what was going on. It was not the flu, but I hadn't had an asthma attack in years. I have little flares here and there, but no true asthma attack. And this wasn't really an asthma attack, it was something different. And I even kept telling the doctors there, even though they never did a flu test or whatever, they had just assumed I had the flu. They said, yeah, you have the flu and you have inflammation, very tight, bronchioles. So they're going to give me some steroids, which that's what I was going there for. And eventually that did help. But originally I had spoke of that, for Christmas I wanted to go to where I was born in the country. And my aunt had mentioned that she had the land cleared of its timber. And when I got there, I had this very eerie feeling that the land was very angry. It was just something very bizarre about it. And in a way, it kind of troubled me a little bit, but I didn't really talk about it. And that night I felt ill. I had difficulty breathing, and it just progressed. And I couldn't shake it, really. With all the remedies I tried to do and all this, I just couldn't shake it. And for myself, I don't smoke. I don't smoke anything at all. Don't drink. I don't have any bad habits. I'm not around anybody that smokes. I wasn't born around anyone that smoked. None of my other sisters have asthma, so it wasn't the way we were brought up. Even though we grew up on a tobacco farm in part, as nobody in my family has cancer. But just reminiscing on the metaphysical issues of the lungs. Basically, it's reference to suppressed emotions. And I must admit, I do have a lot of suppressed childhood emotions that really I have not really addressed. And I came down with this asthma when I was like 23, and it was a pile of information or situations that happened that I didn't relate to the asthma at the time because I wasn't thinking about metaphysical issues or problems. And I've had very, very severe asthma attacks, but none lately. And I'm still confused about what went on, back in December. But in that video I mentioned, I was like, something is in the air. That's what I kept saying. Something is in the air. And I'm not sure if we were talking about the coronavirus. I don't look at the news that much. But I just felt this overwhelming feeling, something is not right. I shared that video and talked about it a little bit. And I didn't really meditate on it as much as I have been lately, seeking answers as to what it is, what we need to do, and just a plan, really. And at work, of course, we're not really talking about it. It's not a state of medical emergency. They're not talking about it. I know it's a pandemic, and we do have, they say, one local case. I'm not sure. But it's a virus, as we know. And viruses, per se, aren't living. And therefore, they can't be killed. A lot of people are buying out antibacterial soaps, sanitizer wipes, and I've just been looking at it. I haven't really had the urge to really do that right now for some reason. But anyway, they are buying up all these items, and I keep thinking to myself, even though you can carry the virus, there's really nothing you can do to really kill the virus. You can spread it, yes you can. What I feel that we most need to focus on is our own vessels and our own bodies. And as I mentioned in the other video, which is really profound, is that it doesn't matter whether or not you can actually get a cold or flu or virus. It's how you can fight it off. How strong is your army within your body to fight it off? Because if you think about it, in this small world that we live in, this world is a body, and we live within a body. And our body, there's other many bodies, so we all still have it, basically. It's just not spread or metastasized to other parts of the country, the city, the body, the lungs, etc., etc. So, and thinking about that, we all have it, but how strong are we as a single unit or as a body, holistically, this earth, to really fight it off? And as we know, the more we focus on something, the more it grows. We created this, and as we continue to talk about it and put fear on it, which is an emotion, more energy emotion of fear that we put upon it, the more it can grow. And what we can do as a single body unit to really protect ourselves, and then consider, in the end, protecting, the earth per se, is to basically start within and basically hydrate ourselves, take care of our bodies, stay hydrated with good water, good food. Try to stay away from sugars. That's the main thing. Sugars is the main thing. That's really toxic for our bodies as a main thing. And stress, we need to stay away from the stress and the fear, and just feed our bodies positive energy. And the sun. And it's been cloudy a lot lately. We've been getting a lot of rain, but I tell people the sun is always out. You might not see it, but it's always here. So just keep that in mind. Still go outside and absorb that sun energy. And those just some things to just meditate on and think about. And some people say it originated from a snake. Some people say bats and rats. I don't know. It spread it. I don't know. I didn't want to really look into that. But when I think about it, meditate on that, for some reason I'm thinking something to do with the sun and us not having enough sun for some reason. Thus, thinking about the overpopulation in China and how much sun they really get or do not get. Those are some things to think about. The sun trying to tell us something. Those are just some things to think about. I'm not going to say agree or disagree with going out, getting all this Lysol, hand sanitizer, all this stuff. Q Reeves did an excellent video, I think, talking to nurses about PPE or personal protective equipment, especially as nurses taking care of other patients. And I've worn PPE before, taking care of patients on droplet and respiratory isolation, and I have not developed any illnesses from that. However, they say there's work out that says that it's not totally that protective against this so-called new virus. In my opinion, there's nothing new under the sun. As I explained before, I've gone to different parts of the city, different homes, and found out things that I never would have thought of, and it's new to me. But, under this sun, this great sun, there's nothing the sun doesn't know, and the sun radiates that energy out to us, so it's nothing new under the sun, in my opinion. But it's a profound situation to think about as we take care in the medical profession, taking care of ill patients that may perhaps have this disease. I don't exhibit any fear in me. I will take care of sick patients. I have before, and I will continue to do that. And I'll make sure that I'll wear my PPE as well, and I'm just not going to live in fear, and I'm not going to exude fear, but I did want to come forth and share my message, my update of, yes, there is something in the air, but how it relates to us as individually and as a unit, I believe it has a lot to do with our sun energy, what we're getting and not getting, how we're taking care of our bodies. Are we feeding the energy of fear and stress? And I think that has a lot to do with it. And that's what I wanted to come forth and share. I wish everyone well, and continue, to just pray if you do pray, meditate if you do meditate, and know that if this is a so-called purge, there's no such thing as a spiritual death. We still exist. It's only a shedding of the body. I'm in this car right now. It's part of me, but it's not me. But it is sort of like, a metaphor for me driving this physical body. And how I take care of this car is how well it's gonna take care of me. Anyway, thanks for visiting the city, and I wanted to just share this message, and I hope that you'll have a wonderful, wonderful Wednesday. Take care.